Hello, welcome to Lesson 11 of Beginner's Chinese with Sylvie. Today we're going to look at how to talk about the past in Chinese and try to make sentences such as she bought a new car, 她买了一辆新车 in Chinese. Let's get started. You might already know that unlike English or Spanish, there are no verb conjugations in Chinese. So how does past tense work in this language? Well, it's actually quite simple. Instead of changing the verb itself to show past tense, Chinese simply uses special time words or particles to indicate that something happened in the past. In fact, there are three major ways to do that. First, using time words such as 昨天, yesterday. Second, using 了 to show the completion of an action. And finally, using 过 to talk about past experiences. I'm going to cover all three of them in today's session, and in the final bit, I'll make some comparison between 了 and 过 so that you can gain a better understanding as to how past tense works in Chinese. Let's go through each one of them with some examples. First, time words. One of the simplest ways to talk about the past in Chinese is by just adding a time word signifying the past. If you use 昨天, yesterday, or 上星期, last week, then people automatically know that you're talking about the past. These time words can be placed either in the beginning of a sentence or right after the subject. As the latter form, which is subject plus time word, is just more common in everyday conversation. We're going to stick to that form in today's session. Let's check out some examples, shall we? I went to the supermarket yesterday. In Chinese, that would be 我昨天去了超市. And by using the time word 昨天, yesterday, it is automatically very clear to native Chinese speakers that you're talking about something happened in the past. Similarly, she bought a book last week. Last week is 上星期, so the sentence in Chinese would be 她上星期买了一本书. And what about we went to Shanghai last month? Last month is 上个月, so the sentence would be 我们上个月去了上海. So by using these time words 昨天上星期上个月, it is absolutely clear to Chinese listeners that you're talking about the past. You might have noticed that I have also highlighted 了 in these sentences, which is the part that I am going to talk about right away. So, 了, another super common way to talk about the past in Chinese is by using the word 了, which I've come across a couple of times just then. And 的doesn't always mean past tense exactly, but it shows that something or some action has been completed. It has the sense of completion, and it is usually used right after a verb. For example, I just had dinner. Just or just now in Chinese is 刚刚. So the sentence in Chinese would be 我刚刚吃了晚饭. And by using 吃了, people understand automatically that you have completed the action of 吃. Another example, he has 3 cups of coffee today. In Chinese, it would be 他今天喝了3杯咖啡. And going on, more examples. She bought a new car would be 她买了一辆新车. So in these examples, by using 吃了, 喝了, 买了, people already understand that you are talking about you already completed these actions, and these are things that happened in the past. And what if you want to talk about things you've experienced before? Well, then you have to use the word 过。过 is very similar to have done in English, and just like 了，过 is usually used right after a verb. For example, I have been to China. In Chinese, that would be 我去过中国。And for have you ever tried Peking duck before? Peking duck is 北京烤鸭. So the Chinese sentence for that is 你吃过北京烤鸭吗? And for the sentence, she has learned Spanish before. Spanish is 西班牙语. So the Chinese sentence for this is 她学过西班牙语. So what is the difference between 了 and 过? Just to wrap up, again, as this is a part that beginners can sometimes get confused. But don't worry, I've got a very simple trick for you. Just use 了 if you're talking about a completed action, and use 过 if you're talking about an experience. For example, if you want to tell people that you have you watched this film, then you would say 我看了这部电影 to signify that you have completed the action of watching the film. But if you want to emphasize that you have the experience of watching the film, then you would say 我看过这部电影 I have seen this film before. And another trick is that you might have noticed that the time words we talked about can only be used together with 了 together in the same sentence, as both of them signify a specific spot in the past. For example, 我昨天看了这部电影 I watched this film yesterday. This is talking about a specific spot in the past, so you can use 了 and you can also use a time word here. Now let's have a quick challenge. I'm going to read out a sentence with some omissions to you, and please try to tell me whether I should use 了 or 过 in that sentence. Okay? So, 你吃这种水果吗? Have you ever tried this sort of fruit? Which one should I use, 了 or 过? Exactly. It should be 你吃过这种水果吗? As I was trying to talk about an experience. What about this one? 你昨天喝几杯咖啡? How many cups of coffee did you have yesterday? Should I use 了 or should I use 过? You're right. It should be 你昨天喝了几杯咖啡? As I was trying to talk about an completed action. Well, that's it for today. Thank you all very much for watching, and please feel free to let me know what you think about this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!